Hey, Kentucky, this is Matt Jones and Drew Franklin in front of the Canadian Parliament to talk about Wan'Dale Robinson. He flipped to Nebraska. A UK basketball player gets good news, and Mitch McConnell and coal miners are at war. That's next here on Hey, Kentucky. Welcome, everybody, to Hey Kentucky. Matt Jones, Drew Franklin here on our Hey Kentucky tour across North America, now in front of the Canadian Parliament, sponsored by Members Heritage Credit Union and HKC Roofing. Drew, we've been everywhere. Now we're in Ottawa, Canada. This is the Canadian Parliament where Justin Trudeau and others make all Canadian policy.
Yes, and this is a backdrop I never thought I'd see on Hey Kentucky, but here we are.
We've been everywhere, and we're doing it for you, and we've got some stuff to talk about. When you're in Canada, you have to talk about Wan'Dale Robinson. Yes, yesterday he made the final decision to flip from Kentucky to Nebraska. He released a statement in which he said that is where he wanted to go, and it was where his dream was to play. He also noted that he will not be changing again, and he said no more interviews. It's a tough distinction because he had just been named one of the top 100 players in America, the #1 ranked player in Kentucky. He will now not be a Wildcat and instead will play for Scott Frost and Nebraska. Now, as we showed you last night, he did an interview with us last week, said Nebraska was out. There's no way he would switch. Then he does. What do you make of it?
I don't like it. I mean, it's okay that he's going to Nebraska. That's his prerogative. But lots of players have done that. But it's the way he handled it. I mean, just this week he said, I'm signing with UK. He had cut Nebraska from his list on this show, and then he goes and signs with them. I don't like the PR he went with.
Yeah, a lot of people are upset, and I understand. First of all, I mean, listen, Western Hills high school star, one of the best players in the city of Frankfort ever. And you want to see a kid that's 30 miles from Kentucky play at Kentucky. But with that said, he should go to school where he wants to go to school. But I don't understand, for instance, doing the interview here last week. I specifically asked him about Nebraska. And after it was over, I had some people close to him who were angry with me, Drew. They wrote me and said, how could you ask him? He's going to Kentucky. Leave him alone. Well, the reason you ask him is exactly this, because of what happened.
Yeah, and it was just odd how the whole thing was handled. Look, if he had just committed to Nebraska in the beginning, said that's where he wanted to go, I think most of the state would have rooted for him. But he just kept dragging fans along, giving them this false hope that he's going to be a Wildcat, and now I think he's going to be a villain.
Yeah, the kids make mistakes. It's not the biggest thing in the world. I think he's going to have a great career at Nebraska. How does it affect Kentucky to lose his talents?
It would have been nice to have him on the roster next year. I think the opportunity to play right away would have been there. But as far as really changing a lot, I don't know that it's going to affect the win-loss column so much. But it definitely would have been a nice addition to the offense.
Lynn Bowden has shown with Kentucky this year, if you get an explosive athlete, it can make a huge difference. It would have been nice to have him. Now they'll just have to get somebody else. I'll remind you, though, when Kentucky lost Damian Harris in state, they got Benny Snell, and that worked out for him.